Hey, what's going on everybody? Hope everybody's doing well. So today, let's talk about how to do Changuito's Merensongo. Oh yeah, y'all already know what day it is. It's Tutorial Thursdays. Welcome to Percussion Life. My name is Eric Perez. Some of you already know that by now, but just had to welcome you to the channel, and I do hope that you enjoy these videos. And you haven't subscribed already, just hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button, find out whenever I upload. And I normally upload videos that you request. And to all my day ones, man, thank you so much for all the love, all the support, man. Welcome me back, and whoo, feels good, man. I haven't done one of these videos in quite a long time, so it's about to be fun. And in like most of my videos where I cover a percussionist style or pattern, I normally talk about them a little bit and then do the instructional part of the video. So if you want to skip that whole part, which I hope you don't, but if you do, it's gonna be around this time right here. But yeah, if you want to hear some things about this crazy percussionist, buckle up your seats, get some popcorn, get some soda, or if you're healthy, get some celery and some water, and let's enjoy this video. So let me tell you a story of the young little Eric. He's about 15, 16 years old, starting on this venture of playing the congas. And he starts off by listening to music and trying to mimic all the sounds that the congas are doing in the music that he's listening to. And then a close friend advised them to listen to somebody called Giovanni Hidalgo. So I start to look up all of Giovanni Hidalgo's music and music that he was a part of. And the reason is because at that time, DVD players were crazy expensive. But then came the Sony PlayStation 2, which allowed you not only to play video games, but also play DVDs. And I remember saving up like crazy to get a PlayStation 2. So I finally had a DVD player, and I decided that my first instructional DVD would be one with Giovanni Hidalgo. So my crazy self gets Traveling Through Time with Giovanni Hidalgo and Horacio El Negro Hernandez as my first real instructional video. The craziness, who starts off with that? I was so young and dumb. So young and dumb. I quickly realized after watching that DVD, and if you've seen that DVD, yeah, it's beyond advanced. If there's a category for beyond advanced, that's what that is. So I decided to look up something that was from Giovanni Hidalgo that was considered instructional, and I looked up a DVD called Conga Virtuoso. I actually have it right here. It's crazy. Look how old this is. Look, it's like look, DVD. It's crazy, but this little DVD, this little instructional video completely changed the way I played and the way I saw and the styles that I learned. It was crazy. And in this DVD, I was actually introduced to Jose Luis Quintana, Changito.
Y mi compadre, y como mi padre, el señor José Luis Quintana, Changito, siempre.
At first, I couldn't understand anything that he was doing, and at the time he was just playing the timbales, and I was like, man, I've never heard a timbalero play this way. The way he would roll, the timing of his rolls, the way he would place his notes, it was just, I've never heard that in my life. And literally the next purchase I decide to make is when Giovanni Hidalgo and Changito made a video called Conga Duets, and I actually have it right here. Man, so old. Look at that. Oh my gosh. And I quickly realized after watching that, whoa, this guy Changito can play the congas. And I'm not just talking about, oh, he could, just tap a little bit here and there. No, this guy's tone, his clarity, his hand placement, his speed, his syncopation. I was quickly obsessed with his playing style. And I was shaking my head because I was like, how come the world doesn't know who this guy is? Then my young self got on the internets and I started to try to look up and research who this person was. And keep in mind, these were the old times, guys. These were the old times of the internets. The internets and the Googles were not like the way they are now. And when researching, I found out that he played with a group called Los Bamban. At that time, I didn't know who Los Bamban was. I didn't know what timba was. I didn't know what songo was. I've heard that terminology songo because of church and church coritos and the way people would play songo. And I was like, wait a minute, that's not the songo that Changito was playing. And as time went on and I started to research even more, and as more information became available regarding Jose Luis Quintana Changito, I realized how much of a godfather this guy is when it comes to percussion and drumming in general.
You don't even think to call me godfather.
People say he innovated songo. I personally believe he invented songo. He may not claim it himself, but when you see him play songo and you see him on the timbales, or you see him on the drums, or you see him on the congas, and you see the variations that he does, it's like, how do you not know that this guy is the one that invented all of this? So for all you church drummers that are watching this right now, that little songo that you were playing, it's not really the songo that this guy invented. So you better get your game right and learn from the godfather.
You don't even think to call me godfather.
This guy is a living legend, man. His mind is completely somewhere else when it comes to timing, to placing notes. And to really kind of reinventing the wheel and putting it in a perspective where when you try to incorporate that in congas, you kind of sit there and like scratch your head and be like, what did he just do right there? He's recorded with people like Cal Jader, Flor Purim, Orestes Pilato, Carlos Patato Valdez, Airito Moreira, of course Los Bamban, Giovanni Hidalgo, Bebo Valdez. What impresses me the most isn't just his playing ability, but his knowledge on history. There's an actual video that he made in 1996 called The Evolution of the Tumbadoras, and man, just the history and knowledge that he puts into that video is like, it leaves you kind of just wow, just how versatile he was, how knowledgeable, and how much respect he gave to people that really just pushed this to a different level. And then his take of what he decided to do. I mean, he's the one that brought us La Mano Secreta. And I believe for you timbaleros out there that he's the one that actually innovated playing the timbal bell with the bongo bell at the same time. If I'm not mistaken, I think he was the one that was one of the first ones to do that. But for someone like myself, I am super grateful for Changito because literally at the time I could remember being so young, being so lost, especially with my hand placement, and seeing how he played, seeing when he would start a roll or how his tone and how clean his slaps were, man. I just remember being in that moment. Every time I see him play, every time I see a video of him, every time I see him in a conversation, I see that young kid that really didn't know anything at all and then be completely twisted up with Changito. I'm just telling you, I think he invented syncopation. I'm just joking, but I know that he is one, most definitely, that really helped push the envelope when it comes to incorporating syncopated rhythms and patterns right here on the congas. And it's unfortunate that he's mainly known more for his drumming and his timbal playing, but man, you put him in front of 2 congas or 3 congas, man, it's just the thing that he does, man, is just crazy. So for today's video, I actually wanted to show you a variation of Merensongo that Changito uses in his video called The History of Songo. Let's just get into the little instruction and get this video going. So yeah, Changuito's Merensongo. Now, disclaimer, I kind of changed it up a little bit to make it a little bit more comfortable on my non-dominant hand, and I'll explain that later. But for all you guys that are the purists that say, no, I want to see the same exact hand stroke, nah, I can't do it all the time, guys. But yeah, let me show you Changuito's Merensongo. That thing kind of swings there. Oh yeah, you gotta love it. But let me show you what I'm doing. So in Changito fashion, as you saw, I'm really hugging the edge of the head here, not putting it here, really like around this area, which is gonna help me kind of move this way when it comes to doing the close slaps, doing just ghost notes, and doing the open. So I'm doing that little movement in which Changito actually shows numerous amounts of times on how he actually incorporates his hand positioning. So the best place that I found to try to learn this pattern is actually with the close slaps. So if you start with laying your non-dominant hand on the conga and do a close slap, and then with your non-dominant hand you're going to do a finger. So it's going to be close slap finger, and you're actually going to do that twice. So it's going to sound like this. And if you notice where my hand is resting, I'm not all the way up here. I'm not like in the middle. I'm really, again, trying to put my wrist at the edge of where the head is and really rest it there. So it's going to help me kind of navigate back and forth with that corner. Again, Changito style. After doing that close slap with your dominant hand and that fingertip movement with your non-dominant hand on the conga, what you're going to do with your dominant hand is a base and then an open slap with your non-dominant hand and then an open with your dominant hand. So you're going to do the base, open slap, and then move this way. So it's going to sound like this. So to put that together, getting that songo feel now. So for this next part is where I changed it to more fit my style. It just made it more comfortable for my non-dominant hand. Not much easier, but again, just more comfortable when it comes to making that movement. And I'll kind of show you how Changito did it in that video. But for me, the way I did it is basically after coming from doing the open on the tumba, is basically, since my non-dominant hand had just finished doing an open slap, what I actually do is I just rest my fingers there and it kind of makes a ghost note, so it's like a tap. Then I come back here with my dominant hand, do another tap to kind of help with that momentum to elevate my non-dominant hand, and I do 3 opens after that. So it's going to be an open with my non-dominant hand, open with my dominant hand, and then an open with my non-dominant hand. So it's going to sound like this. Now to hear it all together so you can kind of see how I'm coming back from the tumba, that part, it's going to sound like this. And what Changito does instead is he still does that ghost note with his non-dominant hand after coming back from the tumba, but he allows himself to have enough time and it makes it a little bit more accented. But what he does is actually an open with his dominant hand, open with his non-dominant hand, and then open with his dominant hand. So it's going to sound like this. To hear that way, till this day I cannot make that comfortable for myself, so I decided to just use that momentum with the extra ghost note and use my non-dominant hand to do those 3 opens. But again, it adds a little bit more pressure to my non-dominant hand to kind of do the next part. And the last part really is, and again, I kind of changed it for myself to make it feel more comfortable and natural for me, but what I do is finishing up that open with my non-dominant hand, what I do is a slight ghost note, which kind of helps me react to do a slight open with my non-dominant hand on the conga, and then I move my dominant hand to do an open on the tumba. And again, it's at this part with that non-dominant hand, you can even change that to an open slap, a muff. I've seen different variations, and we're going to show different variations later. But yeah, that's kind of the gist of it. I think Changito doesn't add that ghost note. I think he just keeps on going to go to the tumba, and of course he still finishes with that slight open with his non-dominant hand. But yeah, to kind of show you that, it's going to sound like this. So to put everything together, it's going to sound like this. Not to play it all the way through. The craziness, but I love the flow of it. I don't know, that variation always gets to me. It feels a lot more natural for me, but again, super influenced by Changito's variation. Now to play it slowly for you, it's gonna sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, Now for some different variations. One that is very, very common, which I even seen Changito do, is after that open slap, rather than doing just one open, you do two opens, but everything else kind of stays the same. So for an example, it's gonna sound like this. I've even seen variations of Merensongo where I've seen where they replace the open slap with their non-dominant hand and actually do an open with their non-dominant hand on a third drum. And as well, they would replace the last open that you do with the non-dominant hand. And it sounds just a lot more melodic. For an example of that, it's going to sound like this. It's just crazy. I've seen variations with just muffs and slaps on 4 drums, 5 drums. Man, it's funny how we try to innovate something from the innovator. But we seriously owe a lot to Jose Luis Quintana Changito. Man, he changed the game. He made us look at a different perspective when it comes to drumming and hand placements and placing notes in specific places. Literally, you know, innovating a genre and innovating a style. And honestly, you know, I am so honored to have been able to be able to see his things and listen to his music and really completely change that little young kid that didn't have a clue of anything. And you know, seeing him in his little red suit, and it's crazy. But alright, y'all, really do hope you guys enjoyed this video. Practice it, take your time, man, make it comfortable for yourself. It's okay to kind of move things around. It's your playing style. As long as it sounds good and as long as it doesn't hurt you, that's all that matters. But alright, you already know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great day.